I put in this assumption, and we'll get to it as we go through the proof. This can be helpful for students who want to understand where the quadratic formula came from and how did that end up to be x equals minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. How and why is that? Some students, they were told, just remember the quadratic formula. Just remember it as it is. But if you want and you're curious to know about it, let's go through the most popular method, which is I'm going to do most common way of showing quadratic formula. So this one also exists on YouTube, on other videos, even on Khan Academy. I followed the quadratic formula, but I did not agree fully. Even though what we're gonna talk about is the same as what they did, but I did not actually admit they skipped this step right here. And this step is very crucial. As we're gonna go through, we're gonna talk about it. So the first step to do here is divide by a, so we can get rid of the coefficient of x squared. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna insert some of the equations, not equations actually. We're gonna do some fractions. I'm gonna do one here. Next to it, I'm gonna enter one more. And next to it, I'm gonna enter one more. And I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna do an equal. The 0 will stay because 0 divided by a is gonna be 0 as we go through. So here is going to be a. The bottom gonna be a. Actually here, we're gonna need an x squared. So we're gonna take it from here to that. We're gonna put in an x here. And we're gonna put a 2 here. Actually not. A 2. And we go here. We're gonna do. No, don't want that to happen to me again. So what we can do? We can just raise to the power of 2 if we can. Not even that. So we're gonna do those plus signs in between before we go and enter those. Plus sign, and that will stay there. So we're gonna grab this x squared here. And we're gonna just copy it and plug it here. We're gonna copy this guy. And we're gonna put it here. And C, this is B over 2A, B over A. As it is, and this would be C and over A. So as you can know, as you all know, actually, not all know, but I would assume any pre-cal or cal or calculus or any who is interested in to know how the quadratic formula adapt to be that way. So when you divide zero by anything, any amount that is different than zero, obviously, it has to be zero, because zero divided by 1,000 is zero. Zero divided by one is zero. Zero divided by three is zero. As long as you don't do zero over zero, which is never gonna happen. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and simplify it. So that would be, we're gonna go ahead and insert if it's quicker. Hopefully it is this time. And we're gonna go ahead here and do plus. And we're gonna grab a fraction. And we're gonna go and do x here. And we're gonna do a plus sign here. And we're gonna grab another fraction. So what here would end up here having square by itself and b over a, and obviously c over a, and that should be equal 0 as it stands. So what do we have here? We get rid of the a. So what do we need to do? If someone is familiar with, I'm just gonna do a comma, so you know, complete the square, which I could have done it differently as well. I could have do some transformation, and then I would make it a little bit easier. But I would do it completing the square. What do we do? The completing the square. Well, we take the middle term, which is b over a, and we divide it by 2. And that's what we're gonna do. We have it somewhere. Oh yeah, once we do this, we're gonna have it here. We're gonna do that. And we're gonna go to symbols this time. And we're gonna grab that. We go to symbols. And we're gonna go to division, which is gonna be a little easier for us to do it this time. That way. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to do the half of b over 2a. I'm gonna complete the square here. I'm trying to get rid of that. All right. I'm gonna do a little comma here so we don't get into confusion on a semicolon. So b over 2a divided by 2. Why we do that? Because we're gonna end up to having b over 2 over 1. I'm gonna do over 1 because 2 divided by 1 is 2 over 1. But I'm gonna do it as a fraction. So I'm gonna remove the 2 and I'm gonna do a fraction, which would be better. Because dividing by 2 is the same as dividing by 1, right? So that, what do we do in this case? We're gonna do it slowly. We're not gonna rush those who don't have much knowledge in reversing or doing this kind of math. We're gonna go slowly. We have enough time. I do have enough time. So it's going to be b over 2 over a, b over a, and now we're gonna do what? We're gonna multiply by 1 over 2. I'm gonna give you the space so you guys see it. Actually, here. So what do? We flip the second fraction, which is 2 over 1, will become 1 over 2. All right. So what do you do when you multiply two fractions? You just multiply the top and you multiply the bottom. So you multiply numerator with numerator and you multiply denominator with denominator, which gonna be giving us b over 2a. Here we go. So I'm gonna make this a little clear. The 14. So that's what you need to square. So what is the square of b over 2a? It's nothing else than, so I'm just gonna go here. I'm gonna go more symbol. No, I don't do symbol. I'm gonna do probably something different. Okay, operators. So we're gonna do, we're gonna square that, and that's gonna give us, this. We're gonna do this one. Then we're gonna go to this one here, actually inside. And we're gonna do this one. And the top one would be 2. No, not there. In here, 2. And on the other hand, it's b squared, because b squared over what? 2 squared is 4. 4. And we need another square. Within that is 2. And within that one is a square. So that's the square of the half. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna add them to here. We're gonna add them to this equation. And this equation will become what? I'm just gonna add it here. Okay, I'm gonna add one part there. I'm gonna bring it to the left. Okay. And then plus sign. And I'm gonna add this. Okay. And I'm gonna bring my C over to A2. Okay. But look what we're gonna need to do. We're gonna put this all in the same character. So what did we do? Nothing else than adding the b square to this half part. But we could have minus it, or we could have added to the right part, which I'm gonna do. Whatever I put in here, I need to put in here in order for the equation to stay intact or the same. That's why they call it basically the completed in the square is your offset. We're offsetting what we did in the left. We offsetting it with the same thing on the right. If you look at this, we try and put it into parentheses, it will be what? It will be between parentheses, so I would go here. I look to a parenthesis and I put that parenthesis there. I'm just gonna undo this for now. I'm gonna put the parenthesis somewhere in the bottom here. I'm gonna put that parenthesis somewhere in the bottom there. Bracket and all that. I'm gonna put that parenthesis here. I'm gonna bring this stuff into here. So I'm gonna take all this, guys, and I'm gonna put it there. I'm gonna put it there. That's what I wanted to do. Now watch me. What I'm gonna do is, and I'm gonna move this to the right, or I'm gonna minus C over A from both sides. So if I minus C over A from this side, that goes away, and a minus C from this side is gonna add up to that. So watch it. You can go ahead and do it on your own. I'm gonna just move it to the right side and change the sign up. So that's what it's gonna be looking like. It's gonna just look like this. That's it. So basically we're almost done with the quadratic formula. So for this, what is the common denominator? Common denominator is nothing else for the right common denominator. I'm talking about the right side, okay? On the right is 4a squared. Basically, I'm just gonna copy it. I'm just gonna copy this 4a squared. I can't do that, but I can do it probably here. Okay, I copy it. Give me, I have to format the characters as we go, but I'm just gonna go a little quickly, and at the end, I'm gonna format. That's everything will be clear. And I'm gonna leave once I post this video, I would look for some insights from you guys. Now that we have this is the common denominator, well, I'm gonna go a little bit slowly. I'm gonna come here before that, and I want to leave that in there. Actually, I'm gonna come here and hit enter. And hit enter, and I'm gonna do the equal sign here. So because we have the common denominator, I'm gonna go a little bit slowly so I can show that the common denominator, how we can get to that. And we have a minus sign, right? You have the minus sign. So in order for us to get 4a squared, what do we need to multiply by? 4a, right? So if I multiply top by 4a, let me build a fraction. So if I multiply 4a by c, we're gonna have 4ac. And the top and the bottom, so 4ac on top and the bottom would be the same as the other one, which is 4. And I'm gonna get to this one here and get this one. That's gonna be a, and that's gonna be a 2 within. So that's the same common denominator. And let's analyze this one. So this one here, I'm gonna make it also clear. I'm gonna copy it and then I'll do the transformation as I go. I'm just gonna copy it and I post it here, and I think I have to format that. I have to remove some equal signs, or I just I'm just gonna do it here. All right, so it won't be fine. Gonna do like this. So we're gonna make it close to each other, and I might go here a little further down here, make things look neat. Yeah, that's fine. We can make a little space. Well, watch here. We need, I'm just gonna make it clear. So if I multiply by 2 and I divide by 2, it's like I have done nothing, right? But indeed, it will make you look like, and notice that b squared over 4a squared is nothing else than the square of b over 2a. So I'm going to try to make it a bit clear. A bit clear. Where did I go? I need to get equation. I'm going to get more brackets. Another bracket here. Okay. And I need this bracket here. So what I would do, I'll copy this and I'll put it here. And now I have to go and do the b over 2a squared. I should have done it differently. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna remove what I've done here. I shouldn't be copying. I should be doing 2a. And I should be doing b over 2a. And I should be now here insert okay, so that's what I need to have inside. And that's what I need to have here on top, is the 2. And then I need to remove this. It feels so cold, so I'm gonna turn my heat on. It's so cold in my feet. Believe me, I am going to the heat on. Thank you. I'm going a little by little so everything can be as clear as possible. So now I did this transformation to show you that that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take all this with the parentheses and everything, and I'm gonna put it instead of that. I cannot. Okay, so now I can do it, I guess. It doesn't let me. So it doesn't let me do that, but I can, if I can, unless I have to do acrylic, I guess. No, I don't want to go back to where I was. Okay, let's see what I can do. Well, I can remove the parentheses since I'm gonna make it look clear. So I'm just gonna bring this and I'm gonna do that transformation I've done earlier for V. and I'm gonna do plus. Right. I'm gonna come here and now I can control the I'm gonna undo that. Think I copied something afterward. And then I can do this one. Well, now let's see why we had this mess. Let's figure it out. Okay, that looks a little nicer. Okay. Okay. So this would go away. All right, so I multiply by 2 and I would divide by 2. This would be 2a. It has a purpose that I'm showing here because we're gonna have a perfect square at the end of the day. If you guys remember this. Um, for those who don't remember it, I'm trying to go as slow as I can. I know I'm being too long or too slow going on showing these things, but when it comes to my own way, that would be a little bit exciting, I hope. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna have uh, what I was trying to say. Yeah, I was trying to come to the perfect square of actually, I should have done this before I get to that one. Let me copy this parts inside. Yeah. And now I can do, this one goes away, this one goes away. This one should be outside. So A plus B, well, it should be in here somewhere. This equation should be here somewhere. I'm gonna try to find it. Should be somewhere. They have that, they have that. Right, absolute value. We're gonna get to this part here. We're gonna get to it, and it was in within other equation. So I'm trying to find the perfect square formula, which is not here. It should be. As a matter of fact, it should be. Not this one, not that. So we can grab it from this if we want, but we're gonna do just the regular small way of doing it. So should part of 2, this guy is equals a square. Now we're gonna use those equations of the a square plus 2ab plus, and I got to insert one more. No, not this one. One more of this. So here, a square and this one is b squared. So for those who remember this formula, which is automatically, if you look, I'm just gonna bring it actually next to it, and I'm gonna make it a little big and with a different color. And with a different color, maybe the red or the blue, which I like. And my son likes the blue color too. And he doesn't like math. He doesn't like math. So I'm gonna try to put it next to it. See, as we can see here, it just we're gonna cross out. So this is this. This part here is this part here. And this part here is this part here. So now this one is called a perfect square formula. So from here to here, we can jump in and do, I need a parenthesis, and we're gonna do it this way. So because I need to go back to this, we're gonna have inside x plus, and we have a fraction p over 2a, yeah? We're almost there. P over 2a. Now I need to raise this to the power of 2. Can I do that without going to this? Or I can by copying all this stuff with the parentheses and everything and putting it in this box. And then I get rid of the other one. That to the power of 2. Now what? Equals these guys, they have the same denominator, so it's a fraction. So it's a fraction, and where are the fraction? They're gonna be here somewhere. And then what do we got on top? We get an exponent. So it's to the 2, no, 2. 2, and the other one is b minus 4ac. 4ac, and here we would have to have one of these guys, and here is 4a, and the a is raised to the 2. Only the a. Everything else is not raised to the 2. So we need to make this a little bigger, enlarge it a little bit so that we can see it. And we don't need that to be next to it. We need to have it next line. Oh, come on. What happened? Okay. So it's probably unique. Why it did get there, I have no idea. But anyways, this is what we need. Now we're gonna square both sides. And here, that's what I'm gonna grab that now. Actually, it was under other formulas, more formulas, more equations. We get that. Even here is they have it. at least somehow. But we're gonna get something different. Where is it? I saw it earlier. If it's in here, it should be here. If it's not in there, it should be here. I saw it. I knew I came across. It came across my visual spectrum. I know that. Yeah, the absolute value. Okay, so I need this part here to be somewhere near my assumption. Oh yeah, I copy it. So just go. Okay, so let's go further, and that's where we need to discuss this in a little bit. That's why I have put that on there. My assumption have a point. I have a purpose. So when we square here, we're gonna have the inside by itself, right? No, I'm gonna get it this way. I'm just gonna copy. I could put them in there, but I want the X to be the way as in the math. So sometimes it's giving me the X from the keyboard. So we're gonna have an equal sign here. And we're gonna have a fraction. And we're gonna have a fraction here. And before the fraction, actually, I could copy it from here with more equations. Probably here. No. Search equations. Symbol. And this symbol here, that's what I need. I need it to be there. And now I need search, and I need a square root. We need this part, just the top part. I'm gonna write it. I'll write it. So b square minus, ouch, yeah, it's good, minus 4ac. So now, if I didn't assume this, I cannot get this to A. If I didn't assume my assumption, where other YouTubers and Khan Academy, they did not mention, we wouldn't be able to get this because the square root of a square of x squared, I'm just gonna put it here, nota bene, I'm gonna put it as a nota bene. And I'm gonna do it in red because it's very, very crucial. Nota bene that square root. No, I didn't do that. I should do this. And I should come here. And I should do this. And I should come here and I put X. And I have it. I have it. I'm just gonna have it lowercase so we can stay in the math notations. Mostly we don't use that much uppercases. So this one, it is equals this one. Yeah, that's what it is. If you don't have this, you don't have it. You can say it's 2a. Never, ever. You can't say it because square root of x squared is absolute value of x. And it is equal to minus x because square root of something is always positive. We all know that. And the absolute value of something is always positive. We all know that. But if the a is negative, as it is here, it should be a negative a over here. So it shouldn't be negative. It shouldn't be 2a. It should be negative 2a because a probably would be negative. Yes, we all know that we can turn a to positive by multiplying by -1, but it should be mentioned, mathematically speaking, we should mention that a is positive and it is different than 0 and it is strictly greater than 0 in order for you to jump from square rooting the 4a squared to 2a. So that's my insight in this. And from there, that's it. Everything is set. The quadratic formula is there. So I'm just going to copy it from here and put it in there because everything else has been solved. Because once you get to this, you just minus b over 2a. There is two common denominators, same, and thus would be minus b plus or minus square root of b squared. And you discuss if this is positive, we have two real solutions. If this is equals 0, then you have one real solution, which is minus b over 2a. And if it's negative, then you have two non-real solutions. And I can go ahead and pull them back here and I'll put the discussion of the results. as I need to find first of all, the quadratic formula. That's it. That's what it is. So x equals x would be equals that. As beautiful as that. I just don't know why I couldn't get the real x that I want. I love, which is this one right here. I'm just gonna copy it and plug it here. And that's it. So this is what we call the quadratic formula. So I'm just gonna come here and pull that to the side. I don't know why it's centered at all time. And this is the quadratic formula. So I made it long because I meant to show step by step. Now I'm gonna go ahead and pull the discussions of the solutions. Okay, so I have my methods here too, but I did not look at them. I just wanted it to show you step by step. So even Google, they showed this one. That so probably I'll put that in there too. And then I'll discuss the formulas. I'll discuss the solutions actually. So that, all right. So those are the solutions set, depending on this discriminant. So I'm gonna go ahead and put them in there. So that's it. So I hope this video was a little bit constructive, and thank you all. And if there is any insight, let's share it. There will be another video coming on how I proved with my modest knowledge in math in very simple way. How I proved it differently from this method, and still I had to assume that A is positive just to avoid any confusion with this whether. When I get there, I'll speak why I did assume it, even though I did not have to, but I had to put it in there. Thank you very much.